On September 14, 2025, a significant geopolitical move unfolded as Poland decisively closed its border with Belarus. This action was not taken lightly but rather as a direct response to the increasingly aggressive joint military drills conducted by Russia and Belarus. These exercises, which have been taking place alarmingly close to the Polish border, have raised serious concerns about regional stability and security. The drills, featuring a formidable display of tanks and troops, have been perceived as a provocative show of force, heightening tensions in an already volatile region. The presence of such military might so near to Polish territory has understandably put the nation on high alert. Prime Minister Donald Tusk addressed the nation, emphasizing that the border closure was an essential measure to safeguard national security. He highlighted the gathering of tens of thousands of troops and advanced weaponry near Polish territory as a clear and present danger that could not be ignored. The Polish government, he assured, is committed to protecting its citizens and maintaining the sovereignty of the nation. This is not the first time that tensions have flared at this border. Historically, the Poland-Belarus border has been a flashpoint for conflict and diplomatic strain. Poland has long accused Belarus of using migrants as a tool of hybrid warfare, a tactic designed to destabilize and pressure neighboring countries. The use of migrants in this manner has been a contentious issue, with Poland asserting that Belarus orchestrates these movements to create chaos and division. However, today's total border shutdown is unprecedented, signaling a new level of alarm and a firm stance against such tactics. The complete closure of the border is a bold and clear message to the world. Poland will not tolerate any threats to its sovereignty or security. The government has fortified the border with new barriers and increased security measures, demonstrating its resolve to protect its territory. The raising of the national flag at the border serves as a powerful symbol of Poland's determination to stand firm in the face of external threats. The warning signs at the closed border checkpoint further underscore the seriousness of the situation. In response to the escalating tensions, NATO has placed its forces on high alert, closely monitoring the situation as it unfolds. The alliance is prepared to support Poland and ensure the security of its eastern flank, recognizing the broader implications of the standoff for regional and global stability. The closure of the border has significant repercussions, disrupting trade and separating families who live on either side. While these consequences are deeply felt by local communities, the Polish government maintains that the security of the nation must take precedence. The government's drastic action marks a turning point for Eastern Europe, as nations in the region grapple with the challenges posed by aggressive military posturing and hybrid warfare tactics. The situation demands careful navigation to prevent further escalation. With military exercises simulating attack scenarios so close to its borders, Poland is drawing a firm line in the sand. The nation is prepared to defend itself and its allies, sending a clear message that it will not be intimidated. The world is watching closely as the region faces its most volatile moment in years. International news outlets are broadcasting the crisis, highlighting the potential for conflict and the need for diplomatic solutions. The stakes for NATO's eastern flank have never been higher. The alliance's commitment to collective defense is being tested, and the outcome of this standoff will have far-reaching implications for the security architecture of Europe and beyond. Poland is not alone. At this critical moment, the country stands firmly backed by the collective strength of its NATO allies. The world is watching as Poland, a frontline state, faces mounting pressure and uncertainty. But the message from the alliance is unmistakable. Solidarity and support are unwavering. In a powerful display of unity, 40 allied nations have come together to condemn the recent Russian-Belarusian military drills and the alarming incursion of a Russian drone into Polish airspace. These actions have drawn swift international criticism, with leaders voicing their concerns at the highest levels, from NATO headquarters to the United Nations Assembly. This united front sends a clear and unmistakable signal. Any act of aggression against Poland will be met with a swift, coordinated, and robust response from the entire alliance. Military leaders are working around the clock, strategizing and preparing for every possible scenario. In response to the heightened threat, Poland has mobilized an impressive force of 40,000 soldiers along its border with Belarus. This deployment is not just a show of strength, it's a message of deterrence, signaling that Poland is prepared to defend its sovereignty and the security of its people. Key NATO partners, France, Germany, Denmark, and the UK, have stepped up to reinforce Poland's air defenses. Fighter jets now patrol the skies and advanced air defense systems are being rapidly deployed. Allied soldiers work side by side, ensuring that Poland's airspace remains secure and protected from any potential threat. The alliance's message is clear and resolute. Under Article 5, an attack on one member is considered an attack on all. This foundational principle of collective defense is being put to the test, and NATO is determined to uphold it. This multi-layered strategy, combining diplomatic pressure, a visible military presence, and enhanced air defense capabilities, aims to prevent any escalation of the crisis. Diplomats are working tirelessly, while military convoys and air defense batteries reinforce Poland's borders. For the people of Poland, these efforts bring a sense of stability and reassurance. In city squares and border towns, the presence of Allied forces is a visible reminder that they are not facing this challenge alone. Families watch the news, hoping for peace but prepared for any outcome. As NATO's collective defense is tested in real time, rapid response units remain on high alert. Military analysts monitor the situation around the clock, ready to adapt to any new developments. The world holds its breath, watching as events unfold. International journalists report from the ground, and border checkpoints remain tense. The question on everyone's mind: can this unprecedented unity among allies prevent the crisis from spiraling out of control? The stakes for Europe's security and for the future of the alliance have rarely been higher. The coming days will reveal whether NATO's unified response can truly safeguard peace and stability across the continent. At the heart of the current crisis are the Zapad military exercises, a series of maneuvers that have become a focal point for tension in Eastern Europe. These drills are not just routine training, they are a powerful display of military might, designed to send a message to both allies and adversaries alike. Held every 4 years, the Zapad exercises bring together massive contingents of Russian and Belarusian forces. This year, the scale is unprecedented, with tens of thousands of troops, hundreds of tanks, and advanced weaponry mobilized across vast stretches of territory. What's especially alarming for neighboring countries is the proximity of these drills to NATO borders. Troops are conducting maneuvers just kilometers away from the frontiers of Lithuania, Poland, and other alliance members, raising fears of accidental or intentional escalation. Officially, Russia insists the exercises are purely defensive, aimed at preparing for hypothetical threats. However, the sheer size, timing, and secrecy surrounding the drills have led many to question Moscow's true intentions. The scope of Zapad extends beyond land operations. Naval forces are also involved, with warships conducting maneuvers in the Baltic Sea, further heightening regional anxieties. Perhaps most concerning are reports that the exercises include planning for the use of nuclear-capable missiles. The presence of such weaponry, even in a simulated context, sends a chilling signal to NATO and the West. In response, Lithuania has taken the extraordinary step of partially closing its airspace, citing security concerns and the need to monitor any unusual military activity near its borders. For NATO, these drills are viewed with deep suspicion. Officials and analysts pore over footage and intelligence, trying to determine whether this is standard training or something far more ominous. The maneuvers often resemble rehearsals for a real conflict, with troops simulating attacks, rapid mobilizations, and coordinated assaults that mirror potential wartime scenarios. Historically, Zapad exercises have included scenarios that simulate clashes with NATO forces, fueling a cycle of mistrust and military buildup on both sides. With the war in Ukraine still raging, the timing of these drills is seen by many as a direct warning to Western governments, a reminder of Russia's military reach and willingness to escalate. As a result, the entire region remains on edge. Border towns are on high alert, civilians watch military convoys with apprehension, and leaders brace for any sign that these exercises could spill over into real conflict. The Suwalki Gap, a narrow corridor between Poland and Lithuania, has become NATO's greatest vulnerability. Squeezed between Russian Kaliningrad and Belarus, it's the only land link to the Baltic states. If Russia seized it, NATO's Baltic members could be cut off from reinforcements. The current drills near this corridor are seen as a simulated attack, raising alarm. Poland and Lithuania have ramped up security, determined to keep the corridor open. NATO's defense plans for the Suwalki Gap are being put to the test. The drills force the alliance to confront its weakest point. The focus on this strip of land highlights the region's fragile security. For Poland and its allies, the threat is all too real. Russian drone incursions have brought the war's dangers to NATO's doorstep. A recent drone crossing into Polish airspace triggered immediate condemnation and a surge in Allied air defenses. France, Germany, and the UK have increased air patrols, deploying more fighter jets to the region. Drones, with their stealth and versatility, pose a unique challenge to traditional defenses. NATO is investing in radar, anti-drone tech, and layered air defense to counter these threats. The alliance is adapting to a new era of warfare where technology blurs the line between peace and conflict. The goal: prevent escalation and protect every inch of NATO territory. The stakes for regional stability have never been clearer. As military tensions rise, peace talks over Ukraine have stalled. Russia blames Europe for sabotaging negotiations. Ukraine warns that Putin's ambitions remain unchanged. President Zelensky is urging the West to pressure China, hoping Beijing can sway Moscow. Former US President Trump has voiced frustration, calling for stronger sanctions if talks don't resume. The diplomatic deadlock leaves the war grinding on with no end in sight. The world is divided. Some push for more military aid, others for urgent diplomacy. The lack of a unified strategy deepens the crisis and prolongs instability. Amid military maneuvers and stalled diplomacy, civilians pay the highest price. Deadly drone and missile attacks continue on both sides of the Russia-Ukraine border. In Ukraine's Sumy region and Russia's Belgorod, civilian casualties mount. The violence is relentless with no decisive victory in sight. Prince Harry's visit to Kiev highlighted the ongoing need for support and rehabilitation for the wounded. The war's human cost is staggering. Lives lost, families displaced, communities destroyed. Every new casualty is a stark reminder of what's at stake. The world's response to the crisis is divided. 40 of Poland's allies have condemned the Russian-Belarusian drills as a dangerous provocation. Former US President Trump calls for stronger sanctions and a pragmatic push for peace. Russia insists the drills are routine, but neighbors remain deeply skeptical. The lack of trust between Russia and NATO's eastern members is profound. While NATO stands united, the broader international community is split on next steps. This division allows Russia to exploit diplomatic rifts. The world watches, uncertain and anxious. The absence of a coherent global strategy makes the situation even more volatile. Europe stands at a crossroads as Poland seals its border and military tensions soar. The immediate challenge: prevent a miscalculation from sparking direct conflict. De-escalation and open communication are essential, even between adversaries. Military readiness must be matched by relentless pursuit of diplomacy. NATO's collective defense is being tested, but restraint is as vital as strength. Troop deployments and air defenses are necessary, but not a long-term solution. Only negotiation and respect for sovereignty can bring lasting security. The current standoff is unsustainable. Economies suffer, families are divided, and the region remains on edge. Renewed peace talks and respect for international law are urgently needed. The world hopes wisdom will prevail over fear.